making 220K per month, profit at 18. You are growing your following from like 0 to 60K plus. And yeah, in this podcast, I want to talk about the past, the present, and the future of you and kind of like your story, how you got into high ticket sales, a little bit about your community, like you're selling for, and then the communities you're running, and kind of like your money model of what you're running right now. That's kind of what
Yeah,
I do, and what I like talking about is more about the community info and all that stuff. So yeah, tell me more about your story and how you got started
for sure.
into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, so I'll give a brief kind of intro synopsis, if you will, to me. I kind of got into the business world and sales and everything when I was 16, and it was because I used to play soccer at a pretty high level. And one day I got injured, and so I broke my ulna and my radius of my arm, down the middle, both of them cracked, and then it turned 180 degrees backwards, and then it bent to the
Damn.
side. And so I was like, I don't think I'm coming back from this one anytime soon. And so that caused me to first go into the business, sales, and all the other stuff, because I was very competitive from a young age. Like I wanted to win, I wanted to fucking destroy people. And so after that, started in sales and everything else, got my first company to 36K a month, but then it crashed down. I'm not gonna bullshit about it, got destroyed. And so after that, then I realized like, well, what do I really need? Like, why did it get destroyed? And fundamentally, I realized at the foundation, it's just because I didn't have skills. You can edit, believe it or not, anybody, you just work a little bit of hard and you're just not a complete retard and you can get to 20, 30, 40K a month. Like it's not difficult. Now getting to 100, 200, 300, like that takes a little bit more skill. And so that's when I started figuring out, okay, now I need to learn skills. And so then I went to a company that was doing about 30 mil a year or something like that. Ended up being the top sales rep there, out collecting the rest of the team
Is that
combined.
seventh level?
Yes, I just
Okay.
cannot say the name for legal reasons. But
Okay.
yes, and then after that, then they had a really, really bad month and some stuff happened with like the upper people in the company, whatever. And at that time, since I was out collecting the rest of the team combined, me and my current business partner, Yash, we kind of filled in that role. And so ended up running the entire sales team, all operations, revenue operations, everything, together to their highest revenue month ever in history. I think it was 4.2 million, just over 4 mil. And then from that, decided to leave because of some stuff in the company, started the impact team. And then from there, it was basically making real sales education accessible to everybody. It became my mission, my passion. And so since that time, in the last 5 months, we've taken it from 0 to, I think, 23, 24,000 members in the community, something like that. And
Wow.
taking home
In the free community.
$220,000 last month, in the same month that I turned 18. Because I was 17
Was
before
that
that.
was that the free community?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then okay, so you have your content and then free community, and then you also have the 97 month, right?
Yes, and then on the back end, the way that we make the real money is that we partner with all these different companies, and then from there we're able to place the reps, we're able to manage their team, train their team, and then we get paid either an override or a flat consultation fee, whatever it might be, and then yeah, that's how we run it.
Yeah, I really, really like that model where it's like you're fueling your, those companies with your community by having the people that are paying 97 a month. You train them, you teach them how you like, and then you just fill them to in those
Exactly.
so-
Exactly.
okay.
And then even from a management perspective, because now we're partnering with over 157 different companies at this point. And so obviously we're not able to run the day-to-day operations of every single one of them. And so the way that we were able to do it is all those best reps that came from the 97 a month, et cetera, then we would train them one-on-one and be like, hey dude,
Yeah.
pay us a little bit of money. We'll train you one-on-one. We'll make you super, super good. And then they end up being the people who manage those companies with us. Like there's a guy, Hunter Klassen, for example, I've been boys with him since the last company. I trained him and everything else. And last month he did $107,000 in straight commissions. Like not cash collected, not from
Yeah,
his own offer, like commissions on a fitness company that did 11 mil last month. And so
that's
just building
super crazy.
savages. And then,
Yeah,
show guys?
yeah, yeah. That's pretty unheard of. I think I saw that on your story. You were with them. I think at your
He
place.
actually left like an hour
Uh,
ago.
that's crazy. Yeah, meeting people. Yeah, having also those students. You having your students in person shows a little bit more of I don't know. It's not that common for for the online
Dude,
space
this is
people
the
to.
funniest thing in the world to me. It's like people in the high ticket space, so many of them are like scared to bring people in person because if you don't get them results and they come in person, it's like, oh shit, what are they going to do to me? But it's like if you actually
Yep.
know what you're doing, we have people begging to come in person with us. There was a guy, Rene, amazing guy. He's the #1 rep for Russell Brunson, actually. When he came to us, he wasn't even on the offer. Put him on the offer, trained him and everything else. Now he's the #1 guy at Russell Brunson's company. And you obviously know Russell Brunson, ClickFunnels, and everything
Yeah.
else. But he was in Germany. He has an accent. He's not even like a fluent English speaker. And
Yeah.
he was like, guys, can I want to fly to America, like to Houston and be like near you guys
Wow.
and then get training. And I forget how much he paid. I think it was like 30 grand or something like that. But he flew all the way to Houston. He lives like a couple blocks away, gets one-on-one training and everything else. And now he's the top rep at Russell Brunson's company. And that was in a span of like 4 months. So things happen.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, you're definitely right. Like I really love in person. Like I go meet a lot of mentors in person, and yeah, it's a whole different level. It's more than just they care about you a lot more when it comes to that stage because you get to know the person, their story, and
Absolutely.
everything, and you really want them to succeed. So that shows, your care for your student success a lot more than yeah, a lot of these people just yeah trying to make revenue and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what got you into the community space specifically of like making your own community? Because that's pretty new, I think, after you started posting content, you started, yeah.
So I think a big mistake people make in business is they think this is the business I want to run. What's a mission or a passion that I can fulfill with that business? For example, they go, oh, I want to run an SMMA. I want to make a little bit of money. And then a month later, they're like, oh, I need to have some kind of marketing angle. Okay, my marketing angle is going to be, oh, you shouldn't rely on referrals anymore. You should get paid advertising externally, for example, right? I think that's the wrong way to approach business because that means that passion, that mission isn't actually real to you. For me, I believe you got to start with the mission, with the passion. Even if you're not running a business, you're a sales rep, even somebody looking to get into the world. Like, if you start with the passion and the mission, this is what I want to do, then you build a business around it. For me, I knew I wanted to make sales education free and accessible to everybody. And so if I know that that's my mission, well, how can I build a business around that? And so when I started thinking about it, it's like, okay, I have trained reps because I'm the best at fucking training, me and Yash, by far, and we have all the results to prove it. So what can we create? What resource do we have? Well, we have trained reps. That's very rare. Good reps. And so then if we can place them into those companies, then with the affiliation that we have with them, then that's where we can get paid while still maintaining the mission. Could we sell some $6,000 group coaching program and be at $1 million a month already? Absolutely. Do I want to do that? No, because it does not fill the mission. It does not fill the passion. And so I built the business around the mission. And then I think that's a massive reason for why it's the fastest growing in the industry ever to ever exist. I think it's because of that. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think I saw Jeremy Haynes talking about how, when you go to make $1 million a month or go to make a lot of money, you're still able to impact a lot of people. And you making money also helps you to keep posting that free content that actually helps people as well. So it's some people say, why you make, some people are, there's a lot of people that are just mad for you making money off of helping people, which makes absolutely no sense. It's like at the
The
end of the
only
day,
caveat to that is that you have to have
yeah,
the qualification. Because there's a lot of people, like Jeremy Haynes is a great marketer. There's a lot of, so he should do what he's doing. And it's amazing. He's
yeah,
helping a lot of people. I know a lot of people that work with him. There's also on the other side, all the people, especially, and this is very common in the sales space, people who do 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, 1 month in commission, have never ran a team, had a good month for marketing, got 12 inbound calls a day for a month. You could be a fucking toddler and get on the phone. If these are all inbound leads that come in from organic, you're going to make money. So
yeah,
there's also a lot of people like that where it's like, okay, maybe you should do a little bit more before you start trying to do all this other shit. But personal opinions, people will always be greedy at some degree. There's always going to be people like that. So
yeah. It's a lot easier to go. A lot of people go from, easier to go from one to two, level one to level two, than to go higher. So they rather teach people at zero or, teach people to go from that one to two. So yeah, it's some people they just do that because they in their mind it makes sense. Like I'm helping somebody go from zero to one, but sometimes they're not as qualified, like you're mentioning, to actually help other people. So they should continue honing in their skills and their experience and everything. So
exactly. And at the
yeah,
same time, I believe everybody has something that they can do to make a lot of money, even if you have no experience. But I think it's about finding the right thing and not taking the easy path out, I would say. Like, because Yeah, there's a lot of people who do that. They just take the easy path, and it's like, yeah, if you did 20K, 30K, 40K a month in commission for a single month, it's like, yeah, you could go manage a sales team, for example. You could learn that skill set and become a manager, or even a VP of revenue, or like whatever you want to call it, VP of sales, whatever, and you can make great money doing that. I don't think necessarily you should start a sales coaching program, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So like, I think everybody has things that they should do and they could do to be extremely successful, but then some people, they just take the easy route out, which I don't think is smart for them, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I realize that as well. Like when I am, for example, helping other people, their communities, I realize like some people ask me for help that are just starting out, and I don't really want to do that because then it takes time and limits myself from actually
And you're
growing and
wise for that. Exactly. You're
working with
smart.
people.
Yeah, you're smart for that.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I realize just actually working, doing the thing, keep getting better, getting to that level of like Ryan Klog and you and other people where you're actually really, really good. Then, you know, if you want, then you can actually help people with a lot of value, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, I
Exactly.
agree. So now we know, how you got into the space and like you want to focus on you make build your business around your mission. That is a fact, and that's facts where what we should do. And what, so you told me how your whole business works, right? Where you're posting content, you are getting them to a free community. And tell me more about like your free community. I checked it out, your low ticket, and like how that has been going, like the results and like the members, all that stuff. Like I want to get more into the community side as well. Talk more about
Extremely,
that.
yeah. So I think the biggest thing when it comes down to communities, 'cause I know that's obviously what you want to focus on. I think when it comes to that is like the main focus should always be just how can I provide value while showing that there is another level of value. Like that is my single focus with everything. For example, right now we're in the process of developing a software. So I'm running a team of 5 full-time devs. And even the free members are going to get it complete for free. And in there, it's going to have all the content. It's going to have quizzes, super gamified. It's super, super cool concept. It cost me a shit ton of money to build, a shit ton, for people who aren't paying me anything. But I think when you
Yeah.
provide that much value, naturally, it's like you just become better than everybody else. Like if you think about it, and people talk about, oh, the educational system hasn't evolved. The educational system hasn't evolved. People have been in classrooms doing the same shit for centuries and centuries. That is absolutely true. At the same time, especially for how young we are, the info kind of space hasn't really evolved either. If you think about it, coaching programs for the past 5 years, 6 years, what is it? You get in, course, coaching, maybe some kind of opportunity to like get an offer or like a role if it's in the sales coaching space or maybe like a marketer,
Yeah.
for example, right? But there's not a lot of evolution on top of that. It's like how many people have actually put the time and the dedication to build a software or do like actually great in-person kind of events? Somebody like a Tony Robbins,
Yeah.
right? Who has experience to be able to change lives and do all these things. Not a lot of people. So
Yeah.
I think fundamentally there's kind of what would I call it? Like a disparity between people put all the blame here on the educational system and everything else, but it's like, okay, we still got to take those same concepts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think when it came to the community, that was always my mindset. It was like, how can I make it as good as possible, as simple as possible for people to consume? Because that's all it is. With the software, why is it gamified? Consumption. If I can get people to consume it, they get results because I know how good I am.
Yeah.
The fucking best. So if they go through it, they're going to get results. But if they don't consume it, nothing's going to happen. So it's like, great, I want it to be gamified. I want it to be extremely simple. The entire course, the scripting aspect of it, and there's a lot of other aspects. The scripting aspect alone is only, 40 minutes? 30 minutes? You go to some other sales coach or whatever, you buy their 60 hours.
Yeah.
What part of the script takes you 60 hours to fucking teach? Like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? And that's also the reason why even in the previous largest B2C sales training company in the world, Yash and I were the one training the sales team. Not the other people
Yeah.
that you know of. Because you need to be able to simplify. That's what gets results. You have a rep that comes into the company, they need to be starting to make dials, starting to sell after 3 days. You're not going to do that with 65 hours of content. No, you
Too
need to do
much.
something simple. Get repetition, get into it, get on the field. So that's essentially what we specialize in. And because of that, I think the results speak for themselves. Even if you look at, and I checked it this morning, with the WAP reviews for the free group and $97 a month group, if you look at it, I think it's like 4.8 stars out of 280 reviews or something like that. I haven't asked for a review. Swear to God, I have not asked for a review
Yeah.
a single time. Not a single one.
Wow.
Haven't even asked. Just by default. And if you look at the actual review, because that's obviously the star rating, if you look at the actual comments of it, For the 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 0 comments. The 5-star, pages and pages and pages. This changed my life. I realized this is what I want to do with my life. I quit school. I got a message this morning from a kid named Cole Rosen, dropped out of high school, begging to pay me for me to coach him one-on-one. I've said no, unfortunately. He has to keep going. He has to prove himself a little bit more first. But like, again, so there's levels to it. It's just consumption, simplicity, and actually good fucking knowledge. And that's what it comes down to. And that's why people in there are super, super active. It's because if you're always thinking about, and I think this is another great principle to kind of take away from it, if you're always thinking about your ROI on things, ROI isn't always, I put in this much time and money and I get this much money back. That is not always ROI. The universe has some weird way to work where when you do good and you just give to people, it just somehow comes back to you in different kinds of ways.
Indirect
I
ROI.
gave all of that good, and I can't speak about a lot of the extra things that we're working on, obviously, but like, for example, one example, Jordan Belfort asked me to be the mentor for young people in his program. This is 4 or 5 months, 4 months into it. Now, obviously, we're 5.5, but that was 4 months into it, he asked. From zero, starting 0 followers to 60,000 in that time period. Because, again, you just give so much, people speak, they talk. And then just stuff happens. You just get opportunities with people you never thought would ever occur. Speaking to a guy over the weekend who's done $7 billion in insurance. $7 billion.
Wow.
Trying to work out a partnership there. So yeah, you give, and shit just comes back to you. So it's not always thinking about ROI of like, oh, I'm going to put in this much money, I'm going to get this much back. But sometimes it's just how can I do as much good as possible? And again, follow the principles. Consumption, simplicity, good knowledge. And shit just happens.
Yeah, indirect ROI. Yeah, I had a friend of mine. He went to an event. Usually, a lot of bigger people they charge for in-person events, but he decided to just do one for free, right? And he was speaking about personal brand, and it was full of business owners there, right? So after the event, people wanted his help, right? And he basically made like from one person 15K, and then he had a bunch of list of other people that he can reach out to, or they're reaching out to him, right? So that's like indirect ROI in the simplest form. And then going back to it, I really like the things that you're mentioning about like the info space and the community space hasn't evolved as much. But you see people like Tony Robinson doing like in-person masterminds and SaaS. But yeah, I see a lot of that happening where the space is going a lot more to like SaaS and then in-person stuff as well because of all this AI stuff, right? People really like in-person connection and stuff. So yeah, I really agree with a lot of things that you mentioned, like keeping the community simple. That's something I realized that's super huge. A lot of people, when they think of community to add value, they want to add a bunch of stuff, add a ton of calls, add a ton of materials, but you want to make it very consumable, very simple, so that they can actually take action more, right? Not just, mentally masturbate.
Adding value very often is about removing things. Because if somebody has 30, like if I buy a course, which I buy plenty of courses, I've spent, I tracked it up, I think it was like 250 grand in self-education in my career so far, which is 1.5 to 2 years, right? Like I've still spent a lot. If I get something and it's 30 hours of content, there is a 0% chance I'm going through that. Zero, nothing, nada, zero. But if it's 3 hours of value-packed condensed information, I'm gonna go through those 3 hours and be like, shit, this guy knows what he's talking about. Send me a wire for 50 grand, I'll pay it, fucking teach me. I don't give a shit. But if it's 30 hours, I'm never going to go through it, so I'm never going to know how good he is. That's kind of the difference. So, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was the same thing happened to me. Like I try to go through it and stuff, but it's so much that it just complicates it more and more. So, yeah. And being able to actually simplify it means you're actually more intelligent because you actually understand it so well that you're able to dumb it down. That's why
exactly
people like Hermosi that like has fire content that resonates to all types of people because he really is able to like understand it so much that he's able to simplify it and put it into way more simpler words. So yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Yeah. What is your future looking like with what big plans? Like you talked about software that you're working on, which is really sick. What are other like future plans that you have? Are you thinking of writing a book in the future,
So my friends make fun of me for this. I don't give a shit. One of my goals from the beginning has always been I want to write children's books. So when I'm older, I went to, because I believe in reality, like the reason that all these young people now make way more money than you see the 50-year-old who's been in their career for 20 years fucking hates their life, and they should, haven't done shit. And then you have the 17, 18-year-old who's somehow making all this money having such a large impact. I think the difference is when you're younger, some people view it as a disadvantage. Oh, I'm young, I don't know things, I don't know what to do. No, it's a massive advantage. When you're young, that's the period where you can change the fastest. I forget, it was a billionaire. He had a quote where the person who changed the fastest is the person who succeeds the most. And it's because as soon as you realize I'm doing this thing wrong, or I could do it better, the person who can make that change and start doing it better the fastest is the person who will succeed the fastest. It's common sense.
Yeah.
Like, that is the key. And so when you're young, you have this ability where you can change your entire mind, the way you think, your psychology, and everything else in like 60 days. Literally.
Yeah.
Like 60 days. It's ridiculous. And so it's a massive advantage that you have. And so I think fundamentally, if I can write all these children's books and do all these things when I'm older and use it to ingrain these lessons and stories and all these other things when they're younger, I can have a massive impact on the next generation way faster than if I was trying to go after even a 20-year-old. When you're 5, somebody tells you one thing, you remember it, and it changes the trajectory of your life. You tell one thing to a 20-year-old, he's busy fucking jerking off doing random shit, doesn't even remember it. Yeah. So like that is one goal that I have in life that I really, really want to do.
Yeah, that is a really great perspective of like, yeah, because I'm also 19, right? And a lot of people around me, friends and business friends and stuff like that, I've seen a lot of people like that hold them back, right? Of saying like, oh, I'm too young, I don't know, people will take me seriously, a lot of things, right? So that is a great advice, a Absolutely. Great shift of perspective for the younger people that are going to be watching as well. What is for the younger generation or for like your younger self, what are books that you've read or books that you recommend for younger entrepreneurs to be a better entrepreneur?
I don't really read, to be honest with you. I don't really read. One thing I will do, audiobooks, that helps me, but it's a lot more, I don't know, I think naturally communication, I think there was a study done, I think 93% of communication is nonverbal. Only 7% is actual words you say. So when you're reading a book, you can only really absorb the 7%. That's why, for example, if Andrew Tate said everything he said, but he wrote in a book, nobody would give a fuck.
Yeah.
But it's because he's such a good communicator, he can create emotion and stuff when he speaks. That's what makes you learn something. That's what makes you remember something. That's what makes you actually care. And so that's why I never really read books. Like it wasn't really a big thing for me. Unless it was a concept that I already understood at a good level, but I was trying to like master. For example, when people talk about education being a waste and all that stuff, that is bullshit. Education is the biggest piece of value that you can obtain in yourself. But educational system, that's completely different than education itself. So for example, when I was trying to learn about psychology, I studied a lot of Sigmund Freud, for example, right? I would read papers that were written by people with PhDs and all these other things because, yeah, was it a waste for them to get their PhD? Probably. Does it mean that they know what they're talking about still? Absolutely. They've studied it for 30 years. They just haven't gotten paid shit for it. So I wouldn't take the 30 years and condense it as much as possible. So I'm still going to study that. So that's the only time that I've really read things, I guess, per se. But besides that, honestly, the way that I've gotten most of my information has been, number one, paying a lot of people for I don't believe in paying for education. I believe in paying for implementation. Completely different, right? The difference is if I pay somebody for one-on-one mentorship from somebody doing 9 figures or a billionaire, that's very different than if I'm, I don't know, seeing some group call with 100 other people on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like paying for the implementation, that I absolutely believe in. And I think I learn a lot more from that than spending my time trying to read books or whatever else it might be.
Okay. So going from that, then what is the biggest or the best person that you gotten the most value from that you paid like one-on-one or talked to?
I would say the current CEO of Impact Team. We brought him on as CEO last week, Matt Ryder. I paid him.
I know.
I paid him. Oh, you know him. Amazing. I paid him $90,000 right before, and then we were working together, so we were doing good shit. And then we brought him on as the CEO last week, so now he's officially the CEO of Impact Team. So that is the announcement for all of you guys. Yeah.
That's freaking sick. Yeah.
He's special ops. He was special forces sniper. So great mentality aspect and everything else. Has a lot of business experience. Has a family. He's Christian. Great values. So it's absolutely somebody who's helped me a lot in that journey.
Okay, that's really sick. I think I might have watched a podcast from him I was working with Nick Fisher for a little bit
Oh yeah, Nick Fisher.
recently.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah. I can connect you with him as well after this.
Great buddies with Matt.
What's okay? We can jump straight into the questions I got from the audience if you want,
Okay, cool.
and then let's see.
Let's do it.
Let's see. Some of them are funny. Some of them, let's see.
Give me
So
anything.
one guy just said dispute rate, and then let me see. I told him to elaborate. Let's see. I think he was just looking to figure out more of your dispute rate, but I told him, yeah, I mean, yeah. What is, let me
We can check it right
find
now.
it.
It is.
Yeah, he said he heard mixed things about his program, wanted to see his dispute rate, and why is it that percentage?
Well, it's 90. It's $97.
Yeah,
So
shouldn't be too much. Yeah,
the dispute rate, it's kind of like, I don't know. If
probably.
you accidentally buy it, then that sucks. Um, let's see. Where is it? I don't even know how to fucking check this on WAP. Do you know how to check it?
No, I don't use
It's
too
something
much.
like zero. I think it's 0.07% or something like that.
0. Okay, there we
It's
go.
zero point 0.7 or 0. Or it's either 0.7 or 0.07. It's like no,
Okay.
it's $97 though. And on the
Yeah.
high ticket stuff, from one-on-ones or working with the businesses, zero. Never gone to dispute ever.
There you go, Luca. Okay.
That's one of the biggest things you pride yourself on. I think if you have a high dispute rate, fucking quit your business. Like, do
Yeah.
something more helpful because clearly it's not working. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, honestly, to be fair, it's a little bit cheating though because everybody we work with has already gone through the free and the VIP and everything else, and so like they already love us, they already know the value we provide, and so yeah, our dispute rate is like zero.
Yeah, it's not really cheating, but yeah. I in the low ticket, I think I had something similar. Like I had like one person or something, and it's just
Yeah,
I think yeah. It was probably
even those disputes are like, oh, I bought it on accident, my kid bought it, and it's like, okay, I don't know how your kid bought it, but cool, here you go, take the money. I don't give a fuck.
yeah. I think it was the same thing. It was just when they upsell to the yearly package, they're like,
We
yeah,
don't
I'd
even have
rather
a yearly option. That's the other thing.
yeah.
It's like I don't care. It's $97. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. So like, yeah, it's like zero. It's purely
Okay,
monthly.
perfect. Perfect. And then the next question is, what are the top three unexpected problems that you encounter so far, and how did you overcome them?
Biggest unexpected problems. One immediately off the bat. So when I went from, I was always working 12, 13 hours a day, right? So like I was never lazy, if you will, right? Once I got into the business world. But when I went from working, so whenever you don't have a lot of something, you cherish it a lot more. That's the foundation of a lot of manipulation. That's bad, and it's very important. If you don't understand it, it's extremely important you understand it, because if you do not, you will get manipulated. Whether it's friendships, relationships, whatever else, you're going to be screwed somehow if you don't understand it. So fundamentally, whenever you don't have a lot of something, you cherish it a lot more. And so when I was working 12 hours a day, 13 hours a day, for example, and still going to the gym, working out and everything else, that meant I had maybe 30 minutes a day to hang out with friends, speak to my parent, like whatever it might have been, right? And so if I only had 30 minutes a day, I cherished that a lot. Like that was important time to me. And so there was a period in that previous company, which will not be named, where it started going down, everything was fucking tragedy. And so I had to go from working 12 hours a day to working 15, 16, 17, 18 hours a day, trying to keep shit afloat. And so making that transition, that was much harder than I ever anticipated, because I thought, oh, 30 minutes an hour, like get rid of it, like who cares? But when you cherish it that much, that's a big difference. Because now you go from, oh, I'm all of my day, I'm working for these 30 minutes, to all of my day, I'm working to go to sleep and then do it again. It's a little bit different. And so that was a massive change that I made, and it was extremely, extremely difficult. One thing I will say on this, a massive lesson I took away from this, is in the moment, when you're going through those tough times, you think, oh, this is shit, this is so difficult, like I hate this. Afterwards, and I can promise you this, once you go through it and you get all the lessons for it, those memories, it's almost like a psychotic, like deep kind of dark energy. Those are some of the memories you cherish the most. Me, and not even people talk about like, oh, I was with my friends and working hard. No, I was alone in a fucking cold plunge at 4 a.m., dead silent, because I'm in Scottsdale, the most artificial place in the United States I've ever been, right? Dead silent, hearing the water fucking rippling against the side on the rooftop of the entire building, just seeing the entire city around me, completely dark, just sitting there freezing my ass off 35 degrees. It's pain. 35-degree cold plunge is pain. It's not cold anymore. It's pain. It's different. Just sitting there and just like fuming, just thinking like, this is a fucking war. This is pain. This is what it feels like. This is what it takes. And those memories, in the moment, it sucks. It is terrible. When you look back on it, those are some of the memories you cherish the most. It's like that feeling of like feeding off this dark energy. Because whether people like it or not, like success isn't some pretty, and this is a massive piece of bullshit that a lot of people feed you. It's not some pretty like, oh, it's going to be amazing. It's butterflies and rainbows. It's not that. It's pain. Pain is the language of success. And so when you're in those moments, it's like, that's what it takes. That's what it is. And you have to know how to push through it, but then you look back and it's like, it's almost like a pain that feels good in a sense. Yeah. It's hard to put into words. Anybody who's been in business for long enough, who's really pushed through, they know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm assuming you do as well.
Yeah, it's good. It's like when you, deal with certain people, go into debt, get scammed, a lot of things,
Exactly.
You really...
And I think a big aspect of it is the reason it feels good is because it's real. I think in your day-to-day life, everything kind of moves along and it doesn't really stir you. When you've been at the tops and you've been at the bottoms, everything feels so real and it's so alive that then if I were to go back into a classroom, I'd hate my life. I'd feel like this is death. Because all day I'm just sitting there doing what? The most boring shit ever. So I think even those darker spots where it's like this pain, everything else, it's real. You're alive. And so when people talk about, oh, live in the moment, like enjoy the journey, I used to say, no, that's bullshit. It's the destination. It's the outcome. Focus on that. And I still believe that. That is absolutely true. However, what people mean by enjoy the moment, live in the present, is the fact that have a certain appreciation for life, for how alive you are, for the fact that I can feel pain. I would rather feel pain than not feel nothing at all. I think most people would. Yeah. So I think that's what you need to appreciate. But yeah, I think that's kind of the biggest lesson I took away from it is like in those moments, just know you're going to miss those moments. So even if you don't like it in the moment, at least remember it. Go through it. Be in there. Be in the pain.
Yep. It's part of your story. Yep. That's
absolutely.
Yeah. You have to like envision yourself in the future, like how is it going to look like looking back at these moments and on the dot.
Yeah.
Next question. What did Nick setting help you with?
Nothing. I've never spoken to Nick Setting. I think I've seen him on Instagram like once or twice. He's the guy who does like a Miro boards, right? Something like that?
Yeah. He has like the turtleneck, does the masterminds, the Miro boards.
Yeah, I've never spoken to him. Okay. Where are people getting these questions from?
That's why I said some of them are funny, but what's your sales framework and how is it different from others? I think this guy's from your audience.
Yeah, we discussed this a little bit earlier, but what it comes down to is simplicity. It's the fact that somebody can go through it, they can start selling tomorrow or the day after that. That's what sets it apart. The fact that you go through it, it is made by people who had that level of success in sales young. Very, very young. So it's not somebody who had to study this for 30 years or 40 years. It's somebody who had to figure out what's the easiest, most simple way that I can get across the message I need to get across. Because when it's simple like that, again, you do it, you go through it, 40 minutes, great, write your script a couple of times, bang, 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 on calls, killing. That's what it comes down to. And the results reflected the exact same, not just from us, but again, I mentioned Hunter earlier. I'll say him again, because again, he left like an hour ago.
Yeah.
He's been on that fitness offer 5 months. Did 107K last month in straight commissions.
That's freaking unheard of, yeah.
So, yeah, like I think, again, it's being able to simplify things because everybody knows this. If you're watching this, you already know this. I don't need to tell it to you. But you can know something and still not use it. If you know something, you don't use it, there's no point. You don't get the result. So, like, everybody knows the foundations, the fundamentals are 99% of the results. Everybody knows that. If I tell you that right now, you know that as well. The foundations, the basic shit, the fundamentals, that's what gets you 99% of the results. So then why focus on the 60 hours of content if you know the foundations can be communicated in 40 minutes? Doesn't make any sense. So all Hunter did, he doesn't know the deep psychology and all these mind tricks and the Jedi. He doesn't know any of that shit. He doesn't need to. He knows the foundations and he mastered it. That's all it takes.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Like, for example, I don't want to put my brother on the bus, but like he's super smart. He reads a ton of books, but he just consumes so much information and doesn't take action. Like, he reads books about taking action. He reads books about cleaning. He reads books about every
Bro's
little
taking
thing.
shots at his family right now.
No, because we're
absolutely no.
yeah,
Completely agree.
we're close.
Completely agree.
But yeah, you're 100% right. Like, simple scales, fancy fails. That's all they say. So
yeah.
Yeah. Next question. How can a beginning salesperson find a good offer to sell for? I think
well, so at the Impact team, we've made that one of our missions. So like, again, we're partnered with over 157 different companies. And so we're able to place people with no experience, with a lot of experience into all kinds of companies. Even like Hormozis, for example, we have an affiliation with Hormozis. We have a JV set up with them. It's like we've placed sales reps for them. So people that are all the way very, very advanced who want to get into large companies like that with great owners and learn a lot, all the way to people who are very, very basic kind of beginners. And then we have offers like Hunters, for example, committed coaches. They did 11 mil last month with a fitness offer. Their bottleneck right now is the amount of reps that they have. And so I can place somebody there who has almost no experience because they have infinite leads. They get 10,000 buyer leads a day. People have bought supplements and all kinds of shit. And so like we have a lot of companies like that. So I mean, the easiest way, I would just join Impact Team, apply for an offer. There's a group call where we'll go over a couple of different opportunities that we have actively in the moment. And you can schedule a 10-minute one-on-one call we have 2 people do all of our recruitment stuff. And then we have a guy named Frank within Impact who manages them. And yeah, from there we'll place you.
That's actually really, that the value that they're getting for the price of $97 and
no, that's
being
free.
able.
That's the free group.
The free.
Yeah, you can do that in the free group. That's what I mean though. It's
insane.
like, that's what I meant earlier when it's like give the value, give as much as you possibly can. It's like there's programs that charge $10,000 that still can't place you. Here you join for free, you get the fucking placement, the offers, you get sales call recordings from Yash and like,
yeah.
What do you want? So, yeah.
That's actually insane because I personally have spent money thousands on certain offers that like they say they're going to place you with this, not for like specific sales but for different opportunity, but same thing, like they can't fulfill, sometimes they can't do this where you're doing it for free, which I did not expect. That's actually insane.
Yeah. Now the one caveat I will say is if you're a minor, it is very difficult to place you. I will make that very clear right now. If you were a minor and you're watching this and you get placed on an offer, yes, we're able to place minors. Especially if you have good experience and you're 17, you've closed 100K, whatever, like cool, I'll place you, no problem. But if you're a minor with no experience, it's a lot more difficult. I'll say that. So you're gonna have to go through a lot more training. It's still the free training, but you just gotta read your script a lot more, get good, and then eventually we'll be able to place you. But yeah, that's the one caveat I'll say to that.
Yeah. Imagine just placing a.
If not, I look at my DMs and it's like, I'm 16. I need an offer. It's like, okay.
Actually, I might have a similar question in that is like, I'm 15-year-old. What would be your best advice to get into sales?
So, okay, I'll still answer that because I got into it when I was a minor without experience. The way I did it, and I speak about this outreach strategy a ton, what I did is I found 3 companies that I really, really wanted to work for. Right? That I was like, I love the mission. I love that. Like I have a passion for their passion. And what I did is I found every email I could possibly find in the entire company. So I found like, I knew their founder's name. I looked on their social media, who's tagged in their posts, who's their head of customer support, who are their sales reps. If I look at their calendar booking link, does it have the name of the person you're speaking to? Great, I'm gonna add him. And I would just guess, John at their domain name, Mike at their domain name. I would guess common names. I'd guess support at XYZ, info at XYZ, sales at XYZ, backend at XYZ. And I'd just send dozens and dozens of emails per company to all these people with a certain framework that I'll go over in a second. And when you do that much volume, they start to see, okay, this kid, he's serious. He wants to get after it. And then they take a shot on me. All 3 companies try to hire me. Multiple people from each of those 3 companies all try to hire me as a 16-year-old with very limited experience. So that's the way. The framework for the email that I personally use is, number 1, it is the passion, like the mission of the company, right? And why you're attracted to it. Like why I'm actually passionate about this company. Number 2, it's your skills or your experience. If you don't have any experience, then it's your motivation. Why am I driven, right? Now, a big mistake people will make is they'll be like, oh, I'm coachable, I'm hardworking. I've never done an interview with somebody who said they weren't hardworking or coachable. So that does not set you apart at all. The difference is you have to tell a story or something to support it. For example, if I tell you right now, I'm a risk taker, do you believe it? I don't know. You don't have any reason to believe it.
Yeah.
No. But if I tell you, when I was 16 years old, I dropped out of school, ran away from home, moved halfway across the country without telling my parents, working 16 hours a day, then you're going to go, well, shit, he's a risk taker. You know what I mean? That's the difference. So when I'm talking about experience or your motivation, it's not just, oh, I'm coachable, I'm this, I'm this, I'm that. Say shit to back it up, to support it, right? That's number 2. And then number 3, how does your experience, your motivation, et cetera, tie into the company's mission, their passion? And then at the end, I would attach a Loom video, basically saying the same stuff you said in the email, but in video form, just because some people are visuals, et cetera. And so that's what I did. And I literally, on YouTube, I publicly show the emails that were sent in 2024. And I think it was in March of 2024 or something when I was looking for that offer. So I show that exact email that I sent. And that's the email that got me hired. So I would watch that, and then, yeah, that's all I would do. Easiest way.
You literally wrote it down. You literally told him step by step what to do. So now, if he doesn't do it,
he's gotta fucking do it.
It's fully on him.
Not much more to it. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so a few more questions. So what would be the best advice you'd give to younger self? I think you kind of talked about it a little bit before, or did I ask that?
You didn't ask it specifically. The biggest advice I'd give, though, is honestly just trust your gut. I think a big issue people have is, and you can't really blame them for it. Like, if you're in a group of 9 people, it's 10 people total, you're in a group of 9 people, all of them are smokers, and you spend a decade with them. After a decade, you're going to be a smoker. That's just how it goes. And so if your gut's telling you after day 1 being in that group, get the fuck out of here, it's scary, but get the fuck out of here, you need to trust your gut in that moment, because if you don't, bad path. So I think what it comes down to is trusting your gut over other people. Because especially at the beginning, and this is a massive thing, it's like, okay, both of my parents are professors at a university. Love them to death, but I couldn't take advice from them. You know what I mean? Now they're trying to start a company, so now they ask me for help. And I love that for them. So when I heard that news, it was one of the happiest days of my life. I want to start a business, and especially because they do amazing things. They help people with stroke patients, with rehabilitation, with exoskeletons and other stuff. Like, I think that's beautiful. I'm Christian, so I believe that's beautiful. Right? And them saying, I want to start a business and I want to commercialize this for other people, right? Like I thought that was amazing. One of the happiest fucking pieces of things I've ever heard from them ever, right? But again, it's because at the beginning, I didn't listen to their path, or I would have gone down the same path, and then I wouldn't be able to help them with doing that.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's like, notice, who am I around? Do I want to be like these people? And if not, you got to trust your gut more than you trust them by default.
Yeah, I agree. I had a similar story where with my dad is like he did a little bit of entrepreneurship in person, starting gas stations, side hustles and stuff like that. But I did all of that when I was younger, and then I realized at a certain point that that's not what I want to do. I don't want to work in the business or keep going from shiny object to shiny object. Yeah. So I started this online thing, and at first he was kind of happy that I was doing something related to business, but then when he realized it took a lot of time away from me helping him in his business, he started to get more, not as much happy, but I still stuck to it because this is what I wanted to do. And this is like, when you do something, like I heard with your past podcast a little bit where you talked about doing something regardless that you don't want to do it is powerful. Yes. And like Andrew Huberman and stuff was talking about it. I agree with that. But yeah, that's exactly, but still something that I want to do. Like let's say I don't want to help him in his business, but I still do it. I still did it. But now I found a different business that I kind of like a little bit more, even though it's like not all sunshine and rainbow like you mentioned, but it's still something more that I see more potential on my side, right? So yeah, I don't even remember saying that, but I guess I was feeling smart that day. But the biggest thing it comes down to, it's absolutely true. There's a part of your brain, I forget what it's called, but yeah, it is from Andrew Huberman, I remember. Yeah. Where it's a part of your brain that essentially dictates your risk tolerance, your ability to do things that you don't want to do, essentially, right? And the thing about it, and they did a bunch of studies on this, the more you use it, the grower it gets, the bigger it grows. The less you lose it, it disappears. So it's not like, I do these hard things, and then I stop doing hard things, and it stays there. It's not like that. You have to actively keep doing these hard things. And that's why to this day, I keep taking massive risks. I keep going all in on projects. The software, 5 full-time devs, no idea what the fuck I was doing. Yeah. Learning coding, awake 18, 19 hours a day, just doing it. Because if I stop doing those kind of things, I'm going to fall back into this other version of me that I hate.
my enemy. And so, yeah, that's absolutely true. I don't know when the fuck I said that, but I agree with it.
I think it was like five months ago or something in Tim Yoon's podcast. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking about
Your
the
dad's business and then deciding to go into your business even though it was harder and more uncomfortable.
yeah, yeah. But I also was talking about that story. I was trying to say a point of the things that you're talking about. The question was the advice to younger self. Yeah, yeah, trusting the gut. That's what I did. I trust my gut, and I just kept to it. And now he's asking me for advice with his business, and he's stuck in his business, right, and all that stuff. So yeah, that definitely
Good for you, bro.
I
It's amazing.
relate the same thing. So it's a great feeling. Same thing as like siblings asking, like my older brother asking me for help in business and stuff because he's really really smart, but he just he needs that more taking action side and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
So yeah, definitely agree with what you're saying. So a few more questions. So step by step guide on how to be the best at high ticket sales.
I would say, I'll put it extremely simply. I think you choose a framework. It doesn't have to be impact if you don't want. If you see somebody else and you're like, I really resonate with this guy, I think this is amazing, go with it. I don't have any kind of, I think people who have an ego about like, oh, you have to use my shit, I think that's stupid. Well, how insecure can you be? Like I think it's dumb. It's like, yeah, if you resonate with something else, great, use that. Now, I do think we've done a great job of making it extremely simple and easy to consume and digest and everything else, and that's why we get the results we get that nobody else gets. But once you pick the framework, you have to master it. That's the key. And Tony Robbins said this one time. It's if you do the math on it, if you improve 10% a month for a year, for 12 months, how much do you improve?
I heard the 1% one every day, but the 10% one,
It's a lot of
not
math.
sure.
It's too much math. But most people, when I ask them, they're like, oh, 120%. It's obvious. No, it's not 120%. Because it's compounding. You improved, it's something like 300, I think 17% or like 320%, something like that. And the reason why, because again, 10%, it compounds. Every month, 10%, 10%, 10%. Now in reality, when you're that young, you can improve a lot more than 10% a month. When you're that young, because again, you can change, you can learn things very, very quickly. You go from working a 9-to-5 job to, oh, I'm going to go into high ticket sales. That's a much bigger than 10% jump right there. So if you improve 10% every single month, or say 20%, 30%, again, it compounds. So again, the issue is though, when you try changing your script or you change all your questions because it doesn't work for a month. Oh, I'm going to change my script. I'm going to try a different approach. Now you just reset it. But if you just compound, then over the period of 2 years, if you improve 30% a month for 2 years, do the math on it. It is an insane amount of improvement because of the compounding. I'll take a wild guess. It's probably like 30x. Probably around there, right? But again, if I go 30x, somebody else changes their script every other month, yeah, they have more experience. So they're still going to be getting better, but it's not compounding in that same way. It's more linear. So I'm going to blow them out of the water. So again, the key is now that you have a process, you have to master it. The way I believe in mastery is by writing your script. There's an analogy I always give. When I was in soccer, right? When I was playing, I was a right back, I was a defender. And so I'd have somebody running at me, going down the wing, trying to cut in, cross the ball, whatever they wanted to do, right? Now, I wouldn't be thinking, do you think I was thinking about where am I going to place my ankle? How am I going to move my thigh? How am I going to turn my body? Am I going to fake? Like, no, I'm not thinking about that. It's an instinct. He's coming here, I see his shoulder drop a little bit. Oh, I'm on it. It's an instinct. And so the key then becomes, well, how do I build that instinct? Because it's the exact same in sales, soccer, sports, whatever it might be. And when I thought about it, it was the way I built the instinct was the thousands of repetitions of kicking a ball against the wall, pretending that there was a cone right here as a defender. And so when the ball is coming through here, I have to receive it this way and take off. I have to open my body and take off. Then on an actual game, when there's somebody on the other team right there and I get the ball from here, I know I'm going to open my body and take off. I don't have to think about it. It's an instinct because I've done it thousands of times. It's the exact same thing with sales. The way you do it in sales, though, is you write your script. So what I was doing at the beginning is I'd write it 3 to 5 times a day. Now I still write it once a day just for practice, right? I already know it. Know like the back of, not even back of my hand, the back of my foot. Like I couldn't forget it if I wanted to, right? But I still write it because of the principle. And so I think writing your script is what allows you to ingrain it into your brain and like really allow you to use it on the spot, and that's what builds the instinct. So again, the way I believe in it is, again, choose a framework, write it a bunch, in between every rep of writing it, say it out loud, then immediately start taking calls as soon as possible. Get on an offer, do all the outreach you need, come to Impact, blah, blah, whatever. Get an offer, however you want to get it. Start taking calls, and then it's repetition, a shit ton. You never quit. At the end of every week, you go, great, what was my lowest data point? So I'd write on a whiteboard all of my data points for the entire week. How many calls did I take? How many were booked? How many showed up? What was the average cash collection per call? How many people actually completed all their, like all the data points I would track. How many upsold, like everything. And at the end of the week, I would highlight each one of them, red, orange, or green. And the ones that were red, I would make a single change for them. And I'd try that change for 3 days, 4 days, a week, whatever it was. Did it work or did it not work? Oh, it worked, great. I'm putting it in, what's the next lowest number? If it didn't work, great. What's another thing I can change? And then that way you just, again, you improve day by day by day, week by week by week, month by month by month. At the end of it, you're way better than anybody else. So that's the kind of simplest way that I would say you master sales. It's not complicated, it's really not.
Yeah.
It's just doing the right shit over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's really well said. Consistency, really sticking to one thing for a long period of time, and then compounds, and yeah, writing your script.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I have to say, I believe anybody watching this right now, anybody can do that. You can write a script, you can choose a framework, you can get on an offer and speak to people. Anybody can do it. So if you don't do it, it's purely because of laziness. It's the only reason it would be. So anybody watching this can do that. And I believe anybody watching this can succeed because I've seen people from all walks of life do it. People who are already 40 years old, people who are fucking 15. There's a kid, Than. He made 15 grand last month in commission. He's 15.
Wow.
I mentored him one-on-one. Because why not? To help him. And he did it. So I believe anybody watching this can do that, but it's just a matter of fucking going there and doing it. There's not much more to it.
Yeah. Very, very, very well said. Few more questions. Somebody said, why is his ego so high, Lamal?
Because I fucking backed it up over and over and over again. Build your own ego. Ego's a good thing. People think it's a bad thing. It's not. If you do enough shit, you're going to have an ego. Also, know when to have an ego and when not to. Like, have an ego with people who you should have an ego with, and speaking to an audience that you should have an ego with, because that's how they know that you're good. If I spoke like, oh, guys, I think you should say this. You should say this question. Who the fuck's going to listen to me? Nobody.
Yeah.
Because why should they? You speak with an ego, that's how people know you know what you're talking about, especially when you have results to back it up. But if I'm speaking to a Matt, I'm speaking to somebody who's done 9 figures or $1 billion in business, I'm the little kid in the corner. I want help. I need help. So know who you're speaking to and then adjust how you're speaking based on that. I think that's the key to great communication. So yeah, whoever asked that, get a fucking ego. Do shit to be able to have an ego so you can help people, so you can change lives, you can change your own lives. And then when you're speaking to people above you who have more experience, obviously you don't have an ego. Know when to adapt, know when to adjust. That's good communication.
All right. Well said. Somebody's pitching. He's like, does he want to do YouTube? Send him my way, my boy. Key to for the funniest stuff. But last one, I think this is the last one. Key to content that you.
Key to content.
Yeah.
I think.
Sure.
And I won't. Like, okay, this is a great example. This isn't something I'm going to have an ego about because I by no means have mastered content. I think I'm good at it. I haven't mastered it. The key I would say, based on what I've done so far, has been innovation. For example, all those videos you see now from high-ticket closers, coaches, whatever, posting videos of them objection handling people, I'm the one who came up with that idea, me and Austin, from the beginning. The most kind of common one or famous one now is Johnny Mao. You've probably seen him.
Yeah.
Right? He used to work at that previous company. I told him you should do this. Because I posted 2 videos doing that with an account with no followers. First one got 70K, second one got like 80K or something like that. I think now they're probably past 100 or whatever. If you scroll like all the way down, it'll be there.
Yeah.
And I told him, you should do this because you weren't getting into content. I got out of content at that point. I posted those 2, a couple more videos, and I quit. I was like, I want to focus on mastering sales first. And then I told him to do that, and then they blew up, and now everybody's doing it. So like, I think it's just innovation. Like, I came up with that. Any video I posted with that would blow up, right? Now you find other ways to innovate. Now it's innovating with the launch videos that we're doing, where it's like those skits, right? Somebody getting fucking kidnapped or whatever else, and we record it at high quality camera and everything else. We have to innovate those. And they always do well. So I think a big part of it honestly just comes down to innovation. You got to come up with an idea first if you want to kill it with it. So yeah, that's what I would say based on what I've learned so far. It's innovation and then just speaking ability. You got to be good at speaking. If you're not good at speaking, yeah, there's still some content you can do. or you could do some comedy stuff, or maybe you just speak and have animations and stuff like that. But in the high ticket space especially, I think being a good communicator and good at speaking is vital. And then you combine that with obviously innovation, it's mastery.
Yeah, that is some good advice. Yeah, I think a friend of mine that does content stuff, his main thing, he innovated this one, and I don't know if you heard of this, like don't do this hook. He's the one that created that, and it's got like billions of views, right?
Yeah,
And he just kept innovating, and then he started the shorts. I think it might be him, the ones that people have are reviewing other people on the side. I think he might be the one that started that as well.
yeah,
So
I've
like,
seen those everywhere. That's exactly how it is. And that even goes back to the person who asked about ego. I think, obviously, they were saying, why do you have such a big ego? But either way, I don't really care. But I think, like, you should strive to be able to have an ego. I want everybody watching this to be able to have an ego because you're so fucking good at things that you're able to do it. With content, that is my goal now. I want to master it. I want to become so amazing at it that I can have that as well. Right now, I just can't because I'm not good enough at it. I'm going to be honest about it. Right? So, yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. But again, if you have an ego about the wrong things, then you're cooked. Because then you're not going to be able to learn from people who are actually above you, and then that's how you end up failing. You stop growing, you stop improving. So, yeah, I think that's what I would say with content. But again, I don't know enough about it to be able to be like, this is what you have.
yeah, I think he might. Yeah, he was probably saying like in this. I guess more the maybe high ticket space or the business space, but yeah, even then,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's what I'd say.
yeah. I think that's pretty much it. We can wrap it up. I think it's a really, really great convo. A lot of nuggets. So we can. Try to maybe clip up some stuff as well.
Yeah, appreciate you having me, bro.
Yeah,
Great questions.
appreciate you.
Love
Yeah.
it.